Hey everybody, welcome to our Workflow of the Week or WOW Extended Edition. So this last week we prepared for moving. We are going from Buffalo, New York to Austin, Texas. So you're going to see our fun road trip. We're actually having the movers come today for 6 o'clock at night and then load up the truck, and then we'll be going from there. Where we are going to be going is right outside of Austin, and we also are getting paid by U-Haul to pick up a trailer, and it's a decent amount of money. It's almost $800 to pick it up in Illinois and then drop it off just north of Dallas, which is perfect for us because then that means, it just doesn't really add that much to our trip. I think altogether it adds like 30 minutes in total, so that's going to be great. And then as far as the rest of what we're doing, we've been setting up all of the moving boxes, which we have a decent amount, but we're moving from a three-bedroom apartment to out in the middle of Austin, or well, out south of Austin. And so it's going to be really interesting. You guys are going to see our journey along the way, and me driving the U-Haul and having another vehicle with a dog and a cat and kids and all of that fun stuff. As far as the rest of what we're doing, I end up finalizing the Gaussian splat workflow that allows for individuals to put in all their data, and I will be releasing that sometime shortly. I'm going to have some more people test it. As you all know, we were having issues with the Dell system that was provided to us, specifically just trying to figure out how to go ahead and get it to do GPU pass through. It was, we're talking with NVIDIA. I've already had a couple emails with them, and they're going to try to help us out, figure it out. If not, I'll reach out to the Proxmox community and see if they can't help us figure it out. The issue is only on Windows systems. Linux passes through perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with any of that stuff. As far as systems go, I have another one that is an A6000, has four of them, Ada system, and that one has been zero problems with us for since the very beginning. We bought that in February or March of last year, and that one's an Intel CPU, and this one's AMD with like way more cores. And I'm excited to see this one start to work for what we need it for, because being able to go to studios and go, hey, look, you want to try this out, and then all I have to do is whip out a box, and then boom, and everything's good to go. One thing that we are thinking of playing with, since our processes don't necessarily need massive systems, especially if you're okay with stuff running in a little bit more parallel. So what we can do is we can hyperscale. So we can go up. If you have like 20 servers, we can go to 20 servers. If we have just one server, we go just one server, and kind of everything in between. And so the cool thing is, if you have a lot of compute, we can utilize that compute very efficiently. But if you don't have a lot of compute, it'll constrain itself to whatever your compute capabilities are. We were thinking about playing around with some smaller systems, showing that we can show up to somebody's studio and go ahead and do minor amount of transmogrification, and then you're good to go using whatever you already have. Something else that I was thinking of playing with, and this is kind of an interesting thing on this, is being able to go ahead and, if you're a volumetric capture stage, a lot of these stages, or if you're a photogrammetry stage, they have computers for ingestion and things like that. Being able to convert those into processing nodes, I think would be really fun and really interesting. And they can be converted when you need to do the processing, and they can be converted back immediately whenever you don't need the processing. So there's going to be a lot of like little things back and forth between that. So last week was just really interesting in that, trying to get the server related stuff done, but I was able to go ahead and just kind of jump over that because I have a couple of studios that are looking to play with that. And we have the new Gaussian splat process and pipeline working extremely well. And so that has been really nice. It has produced some interesting results. So I've got to double check. So there's a difference between using stuff that is like your known data sets that are out there, like the bicycle scene and things like that, and the difference between that and being able to go ahead and utilize your own data sets can often produce different results. And so the quality of the data sets that we got out was not very good. I ran through some And the thing is, they're not known data sets, though. I don't know how they react in other Gaussian splat solutions or anything like that, but I did try it on our own stuff, and it looked really good. And then I tried it on known photogrammetry ones, and it looked really good. And so I'm thinking it's the data sets that we have, but the data sets that I had been trying were also smaller. There were individual assets. They're what are they called? There were tiny data sets to be able to showcase, not just tiny in number, but tiny in assets. Oh, they're props. Sorry, prop data sets. And so maybe doing like, because these are entire scenes, there's a limit to that. Or yeah, maybe this doesn't work really well in giant scenes, but we know that it does because we have tests on that. So I'm just kind of playing around with stuff. Also, one of the big things that I did is I end up making a solution that, and this is the biggest part, and the stuff that took me the longest, is I now have a coal map solution. Then that puts data into MIP nerf 360 or MIP 360 nerf processes. And so that doesn't seem like a lot, but it literally does all of the initial processing and then does all the conversion over to what you need so that it can be run in a bunch of different ones. Because a lot of people use in the splat world MIP nerf 360 or the nerf synthetic data sets. And so if you have the ability to be able to take in images and then convert those over, then you have the ability to really jump into a lot of other people's Gaussian splat solutions. And there's a lot of really big solutions that are coming out. So being able to jump into those is extremely important for us, and we can get some really high quality data sets and look. So that's kind of where we are. That's this last week. This week I'm going to be playing with trying to commercialize the Gaussian splat solution, especially because I'm going to be on the road and I won't have my hands on processing locally. I'll have hands processing at the data center, and so I'll end up having to limit some of the stuff that's going through. I'm also going to end up having to, because I have the 4 GPU server that we have at the data center. That one's dedicated right now to the 2.5D pipeline, but it only really needs those GPUs for like really big stuff because they're A6000 ADAs and those have 48 gigs of RAM. I can instead, I'm going to bounce those over to the smaller GPUs that we have. And I'm going to bounce one of the photogrammetry ones down to that one. And so I'll probably end up using one for Gaussian splats, one for image scale up resing for the 2.5D plates, because that one needs all of the GPU size because we go up to 32K images and then continuing on to the rest of it. So, yeah, just getting everything ready and getting ready to move. And that's kind of what's going on. So thanks everybody who are supporting this channel, and of course thanks to all of you, and everybody have a wonderful week.